On behalf of VI, I welcome you all the delegates and participants to this 7th session GST Clinic. Before I begin, VI extends their warm gratitude to all the participants for their overwhelming response to this GST Clinic. With 7 weeks to go to the implementation of the major tax reform in India since independence, the goods and service tax, which was awaited since very long period. From trade and industry and professionals, everyone is on their toes how to implement GST. The professionals are also busy with this, the trade and industries are also busy with this, what are the provisions, how GST is implemented. Thus, with a view to provide an insight into the GST law and its rules, VI organized a 7 session GST clinic which will help the industry, trade for the smooth implementation and timely implementation of GST. Present with us on the dais, present with us for inaugural of this GST clinic as chief guest is Shri A.K. Pandeji. He is Chief Commissioner of Customs, Excise and Service Tax, Nagpur. Pandey sir, after completing his post-graduation in physics, joined the Indian Revenue Services in 1981. In 1983, he joined as Assistant Commissioner in Kolkata Customs and with Revenue Intelligence in Lucknow. As Additional Commissioner, he has worked in Central Excise, Allahabad and Customs, Mumbai. As Commissioner, he has worked in Daman, Chennai, Nasik, and he has also been the Principal Commissioner in Nagpur. He is presently Chief Commissioner of Customs, Excise and Service Tax Zone, Nagpur. So I request our past Vice President, Shri Om Prakash Bagadia, to offer a floral welcome and present a memento of gratitude from VI to him. Also present with us as a guest of honor is Shri P.K. Agrawal ji, he is Joint Commissioner, Sales Tax, Nagpur. He is an MSc Agriculture graduate, Masters in Agriculture, and worked with Sales Tax Department in various capacities since 1988 throughout Maharashtra, and presently working as Joint Commissioner of Sales Tax, VAT Admin, Nagpur Division since 2014. At Nagpur last year, he successfully made the Nagpur Division as zero default zone, which is a big achievement for Nagpur zone. I request immediate past President of VI, Shri Praful Doshi ji, to welcome in floral bouquets and offer him a memento of as a gratitude from VI. We have one more person whose knowledge is never challenged, and if challenged, I think it is very rarely successful against him. He is Commissioner of Customs Excise Nagpur Division to Shri Ashish Chandan ji. I request Honorable Secretary VI, Shri Suhas Budhe ji, to welcome him with the floral bouquet and offer him a memento as a gratitude from VI. For this seminar, we have got a support from IT sector also, because the GST will be working on majorly on IT systems, that is known as GST network. And to collaborate with this network and to support the industry and trade, IT network is very important. A good IT backup is very important, and thus GST Clinic has also got an IT backup from Lighthouse Solutions, and we extend our thanks to Shri Rajesh Kator, the MD of Lighthouse Solutions, and on behalf of Lighthouse, Shri Deepak Sirvia ji is here. I request Joint Secretary Naresh Jagodia sir to kindly welcome in floral bouquet. there are few dignitaries also with us. First of all, Sri Rajesh Joyce is Deputy Commissioner of Sales Tax Nagpur Division. I request Sakati Pagdiya to please welcome him with floral bouquet. From Central Excise Department, we have got Mr. B.C. Agarwal ji is Assistant Commissioner. I request Jetaway to please welcome him with a floral bouquet. Now I request Vice President VI Shri Om Prakash ji Pagdiya for his welcome address.
Friends, Deputy Audit as Chief Commissioner of Custom, Central Excise and Service Tax, Pandey ji, Joint Commissioner of Cell Tax, Agarwal ji, Mr. Chandan ji, and Deputy from Department and my friends. I welcome you all in this today's 7 days session on GST Clinic organized by the VIA for the benefits of trade and industries. Friends, due to some urgency, our President Atul Pandey has to go out of Nagpur. He apologizes for not being present in this seminar personally, but he expresses good wishes and gratitude for the good response to this GST Clinic. Friends, due to space constraint and heavy response to this program, we have arranged sitting arrangement for some of the participants joining this hall, and a necessary arrangement of screen is also made. I express my regret for inconvenience to the other person who is not personally present in this hall. Further, looking to this response, next session which is held in from next Friday, we have arranged with checklist center where all next 6 sessions will be held there, so that we can sit in the same hall for the various programs. Friends, GST really now and may be implemented perhaps from the 1st July 2017. It is expected that GST will transform the Indian economy and improve the GST growth. It is an effort to convert the entire country into one market and want us to believe that simple tax system will ensure ease of doing the business. The successful implementation of this revolutionary tax reform will depend how informed the trade industry and preparedness of the implementing agency for this smooth transition. This GST Clinic is an effort on the part of VA to explain a plain meaning to the various provisions of the GST. In this GST Clinic, participation shall not only know the views of the expert professionals, but the department view on the subject will also known to all the participants. We are grateful to the Customs and Excise and Service Tax and Cell Tax Department for making available to the master trainers who have undergone a very extensive training on the subject. Our only request to this authority shall be that during the transition period, perhaps both will face the problem. I would like to request department authorities to be industry friendly and little liberal till the provision are understood by all the people, all trade industry. Friends, time to time, VI is making representation to various authorities for the removal of difficulties, including difficulties regarding the input credit on the closing stock on the specified date. One such representation recently made regarding the changes in e-way bill provision, and we have requested that this e-way requirement be done away for the movement of the material within the state, and so far as interstate is concerned, the bill present limit, which is 50,000, should be increased to 5 lakhs as per consignment, and also requested to withdraw the stringent provisions to interrupt and verify conveyance during the movement. Authorities present here are earnestly requested to support this plea of the industry to their higher authorities. Friends, today we have with us the dignitaries from the Custom, Central Excise and Sector Department. I welcome today Chief Guest Honorable Shri A.K. Pandey, Chief Commissioner of Custom, Central Excise and Service Tax, and Guest Honorable Shri P.K. Agrawal, Joint Commissioner of Cell Tax, who accepted our invitation to grace the occasion. We also gratefully recognize the presence of Shri Ashish Chandan, Commissioner of Custom, Central Excise and Service Tax, Mr. Rajesh from Cell Tax Department, and Mr. Agrawal from Central Excise and Custom Department. I welcome you, sir, in this meeting. We hope that it will be a learning session to prepare ourselves for the GST regime. I am thankful to Sri Ashokji Chandak, Chairman of our Tax and Corporate Law Committee, who designed the entire session so nicely that it covers all basic subjects to understand what is GST. I welcome you all again in this meeting. Thank you.
The Chairman of VI Taxation and Corporate Law Forum and past President of ICA.
Honorable Chief Commissioner of Central Excise and Custom, Shri Pandey ji, Commissioner Central Excise and Custom, Shri Ashish Chandan ji, Joint Commissioner Sales Tax, Head of the Sales Tax Department at Nagpur, Shri Agrawal ji, Vice President of VIA, Secretary of VIA, my colleagues on the Taxation and Corporate Law Forum, learned speakers for this GST Clinic, dignitaries from the Sales Tax and the Excise Department, dear friends, members of the VI included, one nation, one tax. This is what a slogan. And one nation, one tax equal to GST. This is what an arithmetic. Now, one nation, one tax is a new concept which we will be trying to implement from 2017. 1944 onwards, we are accustomed to central excise. 48, 49, we are accustomed to sales tax. 1994, service tax. All these three acts, main three acts, there are other acts as well, had several different concepts. Manufacturer is required to pay the excise. Sales tax. Services, when render or advance received, whatever the case may be, service tax. So there used to be different points, taxable points, taxable event, everything. So also different concepts. What is a manufacture? That was something different in the context of excise law. When the sale takes place, when the sale completed, different concept. Court has held that Sales of Goods Act will apply. Services, service tax, all concept, services itself was not defined till 2012. All this concept we got it either from judiciary or from whatever has been prescribed in the law and all with an interpretation. So all these concepts are ruling the field of taxation from very long period. With this one nation, one tax GST, we will have to forget all these concepts. Taxable event is something different. taxable person is something different, combined. All those things are coming as a combined issue. So when the concept change take place, it really requires a classroom kind of training. And this GST clinic has been organized with an idea. It may not be a true sense a diagnostic clinic. You diagnose the disease and then thereafter cure. But it is a kind of a preventive clinic. You try to see something, get yourself check whether you are fit for that or not. And if something is wrong in that, try to see that you are competing with that part which is wrong. So get yourself satisfied from that. It is always said that prevention is better than cure. Cure or diagnosis problem will come after 1 year, 1.5 years. Thereafter maybe appeal tribunal and everything will come. But before that, you need to know where you stand. And that being a position, that is an idea behind organizing this clinic. In this clinic, we have 7 sessions, and all 7 sessions are structured in a manner that basic requirement of GST law has been given to you. Not a provision like an appeal or revision. Of course, cursorily you will be told what are the appeals and what are the provisions of assessment and all those things, but not that. Because this thing will come into operation after a year or so. Immediate requirement is when to pay tax, on what to charge the tax, where to pay the tax, whether it is whether you have to pay the IGST or SGST or CGST. All these concepts are there. IGST, SGST, CGST, all the concepts are there. That we will learn in due course of time. So that was an idea. And I see an overwhelming response to that seminar, this clinic. We have not thought that there will be more than 200 participants for this organization, because earlier we had organized a mega seminar 1.5 months back. We thought that this being a kind of an interactive session, the participants will not be there. But really there is an overwhelming response to this, and therefore we are required to make certain changes in organizing this GST clinic. This session, of course, we are organizing in this hall plus sideway hall, where we will have a teleconferencing. Sideway hall, they can ask the questions and they can listen on a screen and everything. From next session onwards, as has been told to you by Vice President, we will organize this clinic at a Chitnavis center. So kindly take a note that next session onward, that is next Friday onwards, this session or every session will be at Chitnavis center opposite or near Hislop College, Civil Lines, Nagpur. That you take a note. The two or three things, since Pandey Sahib is going to give after the inaugural session, 1 or 2 things I just wanted to point out as an opening remark. First issue, sir, is about the input tax distributor, and I think the matter has to be taken. While I see the provision about the input tax distributor in a Central GST Act, CGST Act, I don't see such provision in UGST Act. And I have also not seen the provision, such kind of a provision under the state acts which has already passed their acts, like an MP, Goa, etc. Now, therefore, if I have an head office at, say, Delhi, where no transaction of supply, sale, purchase, etc. takes place, only in head office where you receive the services which may attract the SGST, IGST both, SGST, CGST both. And if the tax is to be distributed or input tax is to be distributed from Delhi to Maharashtra, I don't see any problem so far as the CGST distribution is concerned. But I see the problem of SGST charged by the Delhi state, how it will be distributed to a Maharashtra state. One. Similar issue is like a purchase by a person in an auction at a different state. Railway auction takes place, shipbuilding auction takes place. Say Chennai or Visakhapatnam, there is an auction. Chennai is in Tamil Nadu, Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. We purchase the goods. What is the position today? It was termed as a central sale because the auctioneer were aware that the goods will move from Visakhapatnam or Chennai to Maharashtra, and it used to attract only a central sales tax. Now what is going to happen? Because of the supply definition, all those things, supply will stand completed at Visakhapatnam or Chennai, whatever the case may be. And since supply is completed at Visakhapatnam or Chennai, at Chennai it will be SGST plus CGST which will be levied, and so also at Visakhapatnam SGST plus CGST will be levied. Now when I bring the goods to Nagpur for use in a manufacture, how do I get a credit of that? There appears to be no provision on that. This is an issue which needs to be looked into. I thought that these are one or two issues in relation to input tax credit. Of course, the 40% input tax credit in the hands of traders appears to be a little unreasonable, and a 1 year limit for that also appears to be unreasonable. When all state governments implemented VAT, they gave the input tax credit in relation to stocks, but there was no condition like a 1 year restriction, and their formula was such a reasonable, like we also have such same kind of formula, that if you have a duty paying document you will get full credit. If you don't have a duty paying document, then in a VAT, in almost all tax, there used to be 75% of that 75% of the purchase value was considered as for the purposes of input tax credit. So 40% appears to be a little bit lower. I think that needs to be looked into. With this kind of an opening remark and taking benefit of your presence here, I thought that this point should be brought to your notice. I thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you very much.
I request today's guest of honor, Shri P.K. Agrawal ji, to address the gathering.
Honorable guest on dais, office bearer on dais, my friends. Friends, GST is virtually knocking the door. It is likely to roll out from 1st July. On the background of this, I congratulate Vidarbha Industries Association for organizing a series of GST dissemination and training program. The VI is well known premier organization which is very active in carrying out its role and working towards the development of industry in the Vidarbha region since more than 5 decades. And this particular intensive week-long study course in GST appropriately called as Gst Clinic, organized by VIA to provide in-depth knowledge and insight into GST law and rules, is also no exception to VIA. So I take this opportunity to congratulate President, Vice President and Suhas Budde, Joint Secretary, other office bearers of Vidarbha Industries Association for taking the initiatives. As far as Maharashtra Sales Tax Department is concerned, there is a full state of preparedness, and we at MSTD is leaving no stone unturned in its effort to face new challenge under GST regime and to provide best service to existing VAT dealers for smooth and hassle-free migration to GST. Nagpur division has launched trade outreach program throughout the Nagpur division, comprising district Nagpur, Chandrapur, Wardha, Bhandara, Gondia and Gadchiroli, for educating and explaining taxpayers on legal and procedural aspects and the compliances expected from them under GST, and we are getting very good response from trade and industry. So far 30 workshops are conducted by officers of department covering urban places as well as remote talukas of every district of Nagpur division, with reaching out to combined participants of 10,000 people. Our officers have also prepared a short Pathanatya, which is unique one, as part of GST awareness campaign and staged at various locations, and the same is appreciated by all. I would request the organizers of VIA to have a glimpse of above street play before these participants. It won't take about 15 minutes only. While interacting with trade, it is noticed that trade has some doubts and objection on some of the provisions, especially transitional provision of CGST, only 40% set off on tax payable on stock, invoice matching, e-way bill, and other provisions of arrest, detention, which will definitely discuss in the GST clinic, and by inoculation of information, these doubts will be clear. Nagpur division has around 53,000 VAT dealers, out of which almost 90% dealers has enrolled on GSTN portal and has completed process of migration. The enrollment window will be reopened for 15 days from 1st June 17 to give another opportunity to taxpayer to enroll. The training program of GST law for all officers and staff has been completed, and technical training and hands-on front-end module of GSTN portal like payment module, return module is under progress. The beta launch activity for GST system from 1st May 17 at all locations has been started. We have successfully completed filing GSTR1, filing GSTR2 is next crucial step in beta testing. One of the objectives is to give an opportunity to taxpayers to work on the live system. Maharashtra is one of the key important member of GST rate fitment committee. Hopefully the final tax slab and rate of tax on different commodity may get decided on upcoming GST council meeting scheduled to be held in Srinagar on 18th and 19th May. Maharashtra Assembly is also convened later in next week to give approval and pass Maharashtra SGST bill. In the state of Maharashtra, there are around 8 lakh existing registered dealers, and revenue collection is around 90,000 crore. In the state, dealer having annual turnover below 1.5 crore are around 7.5 lakhs, and therefrom revenue collection is only 3,100 crore. Whereas remaining 1 lakh dealer contributes about 77,000 crore. Top 100 dealers of the state contribute about 60% of total tax revenue. As far as Nagpur division is concerned, the revenue collection is around 4,500 crore during this year. We have set the target of rupees 5,100 crore for 17-18. In Nagpur division, around 250 dealers contributes more than 1 crore tax. That means about 250 dealers are paying taxes more than 1 crore. Top 5 are Ultratech Cement 535 crore, Western Coalfield 373 crore, Ashok Leyland 278 crore, Ambuja Cement 117 crore. So I hope and believe this particular GST clinic will be of immense help to all the participants, and I also hereby thanks and express my gratitude to organizers for giving me opportunity to share my thought. Thank you.
And we are also immensely thankful for your presence. So as discussed with VP sir, we can accommodate your 15 minutes play in the next session on 19th of May, sir. Departmental persons, sir.
Departmental officers and inspectors.
Okay, so we will be accommodating that play prior to starting of the session on 19th of May. It will be prior to starting of the session. The session will start at 5 o'clock. So we will take a liberty to start the session at 4:45 so that 15 minutes knowledge session is not lost in that. So we will start the next session on 19th of May at 4:45 and 15 minutes play from will be there from Sales department, and all the next sessions will be held at Tamarind Hall, Chitney Center, which is next to Hislop College, Civil Lines. So please take care of that thing so that you will not miss something. Either first of all you come here and will go to Chitney Center, you will not miss any of the sessions or some time of the session. Now it's time to hear from the chief guest, Shri A.K. Pandey. Sir, please.
Chandan ji, Mr. P.K. Agarwal, Sri Ashish Chandan ji, dignitaries sitting on the other dignitaries sitting on the dais, the friends from press and media, the participants, ladies and gentlemen. This initiative by VIA of training their own members and officers on various provisions of GST Act and rules is really a laudable effort. This will give the participants an opportunity to appreciate the legal provisions which will make the claims of Government of India on the GST that it will boost the Make in India initiative of Government of India, that it will render India a common market. You will go through the provisions and then you will appreciate how these claims are being legally attained. Knowing the salient features of some dispensation or pluses or minuses of impending legislation is one thing, but knowing the nitty-gritty of the legal provisions and the procedures to be followed is another thing. I hope this platform and effort of VIA will present an opportunity to the participants to appreciate the legal provisions and their implicit and explicit implications. As the course progresses, I am sure the participants will find that this act has been drafted in a simplest way possible, making the law crystal clear and leaving a very little scope for litigation. I would like to answer the question why this GST is being imposed or why the GST regime is coming, wiping out so many regimes of so many taxations. I will outline few benefits of the GST. GST is basically a win-win situation for the entire country. It brings benefits to all the stakeholders of the industry, government and the consumer. It will lower the cost of goods and services, give a boost to the economy and make the products and services globally competitive. This is the benefit claimed by the government and we believe in it. GST aims to make India a common market with common tax rates and procedures and remove the economic barriers, thus paving the way for an integrated economy at the national level. By subsuming most of the central and state taxes into the single tax and by allowing a set of prior state taxes for the transactions across the entire value chain, it would mitigate the ill effects of cascading, improve competitiveness, and improve liquidity of the business. Friends, you know GST is a destination-based tax. It follows a multi-stage collection mechanism. In this, tax is collected at every stage and the credit of tax paid at the previous stage is available at the next stage of transaction. This shifts the tax incidence closer to the consumer and benefits the industry through better cash flows and better working capital management. GST is largely technology driven. It will reduce the human interface to a great extent and this will lead to speedy decisions. GST will give a major boost to the Make India initiative of the Government of India by making goods and services produced in India competitive in the national as well as the international market. Also, all imported goods will be charged to integrated tax which will be equivalent to CGST and SGST. This will bring equality with taxation on local products. Under the GST regime, exports will be zero rated in entirety, unlike in the present system where refund of some taxes may not take place due to fragmented nature of indirect tax between state and center. This will boost Indian exports in the international markets, thus improving the balance of payments position. Exporters with clean track record will be rewarded by getting immediate refund of 90% of their claims arising on account of exports within 7 days. GST is expected to bring buoyancy to the government kitty also by widening the tax base and improving the tax compliance. GST is likely to improve India's ranking in the ease of doing business index and estimated to increase the GDP growth by 1.5 to 2%. GST will bring more transparency to indirect tax laws since the whole supply chain will be taxed at every stage with credit of taxes paid at previous stage being available for set off at the next stage. The economics and tax value of supplies will be easily distinguishable. This will help the industry to take credit and government to verify the correctness of taxes paid and the consumer to know the exact amount of taxes paid. The taxpayers would not be required to maintain records and show compliance with a myriad of indirect tax laws of the central and state governments like central excise, service tax, VAT, central sales tax, Act Roy, entry tax, blah blah. They would only need to maintain records and show compliance in respect of 3 taxes, that is IGST, CGST and SGST. With this friend, I thank VIA to have invited me to share the proceedings and I wish the training session conducted by VIA a huge success. Thank you.
Thank to us, our Honorary Secretary Suhas Bhadeji to present the vote of thanks for.
Honorable Shri A.K. Pandey, the Chief Commissioner, Shri P.K. Agrawal ji, Joint Commissioner Cell Tax, Shri Chandan ji, Commissioner Central Excise, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from media. On behalf of VIA, I would like to wholeheartedly express my deepest appreciation and profound gratitude to all the dignitaries. We are deeply honored to have you, sir. We recognize the changes of the magnitude of GSTs require advanced preparation by all the stakeholders and a robust communication between the taxpayers and the tax administrators would really facilitate this change management. And I would like to assure from our forum that we'd like to facilitate this under your guidance, sir. Thank you very much and thank you for your participation.
Much. So we are completed with the inaugural session and the technical session will start immediately. Shri Ashok Chandak sir will be taking over the first session. The presentation is over. Thereafter we will have question and answer sessions and Mr. Amog is present in the adjacent hall. He will take care if you have any query. Please ask him. Amok, can I have your presence in the adjacent hall? Amok.
The first session is structure to understand the broad concepts and the overview of GST law as a whole. This is because what happens if you try to understand in a piecemeal, it becomes difficult. The speaker will say that, the speaker will say so and so and so. So if you have a first an entire overview of the GST law, thereafter you will able to understand all the provisions. This will also help you in next 7 days to identify your problems and put it across the faculties in next 6 sessions. With that idea, this broad concept and overview of GST is being considered today. Tax. So anywhere you go, it would be one nation, one tax. Tax would be called as the GST. It may have a different components, but it would be called as the GST. Rate of tax is likely to be the same throughout the country. That was a claim when the VAT was introduced. That is also a claim when GST is likely to be introduced. I will come that part little later, whether it will become a reality or something will come in that part. That we will see. Any professional start with a disclaimer. These are my disclaimers. I am not responsible for anything which I have explained. Or my organization cannot be sued for that. Today's session, what we are going to look or what we are going to understand is present system of indirect taxation as a whole. What is present system? What is GST and how it will work? Proposed GST structure and certain concepts. Broad concept we'll see. We will not go into detailed concept and all that. Taxation system, that is taxable person, taxable event, point of taxation, place of supply, valuation, etc. Again broad concept because we have all this structure as a separate section. And in that you would be given a detailed thing. But basically if you understand as an overview, you would be able to put out your questions in next sessions. Administrative process in CGST Act, that is registration, returns, tax payment, assessment, only again a broad concept. Input tax credit, again a broad concept. Impact on prices, what it is going to have and how it is to be assessed. Preparatory steps, what you should do to some extent in order to comply with the GST law, incoming GST law, and finally a conclusion. With this, I come to the present system of indirect taxes in India. All of you are aware that we have 3 tiers of the government. Central government, state government, and the local government, that is municipal corporation, etc. One hurdle is already there from the Municipal Corporation of Bombay for implementation of GST. They are claiming that Bombay's octroi revenue, that is municipal corporation revenue, is 13,000 crore. Who is going to reimburse that? That one hurdle is there because that is a separate government. That is their separate revenue. Now 3 tiers of the government, all these 3 tiers levies a different taxes. Like central government or union government imposes custom duties, central excise, service tax. State government imposes a VAT, central sales tax. Name central sales tax suggests that it should be a central government tax, and it is a central government tax. It is central government law, not tax. Law is framed by the central government. Tax is collected on that by the state government of that particular state from where the movement is taking place. That's why central sales tax is being considered as a state tax presently. Then you also have a land revenue, entry tax, electricity duty, tax on sale of electricity, entertainment tax, luxury tax, and stamp duty. These are by and large major indirect taxes levied by the state government. Local government, octroi public LBT, taxes on the property, taxes on the passengers, and advertisement, etc. Now there is a concept, when you read one nation, one tax, you get a confusion that all these taxes, what Mr. Chandak has narrated, are these going to merge and there will be only one tax? Is going to be true? There has to be some merging and some non-merging. Therefore, we should be clear in our thinking which taxes are not going to merge and which taxes will get some merge, and in place of which the GST will come. Now therefore we come, what is GST? GST is, as name suggests, it's a goods and services tax. It is to be levied on supply of goods and services. Now note first concept. It is levied on supply of goods and services. It is neither levied on a manufacturer, not on a sale or services. It is levied on a supply. What is the supply? That part will come. But tax is levied on a supply. No sale required, no manufacturing required, no services are required. Wherever there is a supply, the tax is attracted. GST is multi-state tax to be imposed at a final consumption. Now there are a lot of industrialists sitting here. Can you tell me when you pay the excise duty? Can someone tell me?
On removal.
On removal of goods. Once you pay the excise duty, your purchaser is required to pay the excise duty. So that once excise duty paid at the stage of manufacturer, till consumption, no further excise duty is attracted. That is not a case with the service tax or VAT. Service tax or VAT, you pay the excise duty at each stage of the services or sale. Now, what is change proposed is that excise what you are paying on at the stage of manufacturer will no longer be there. That duty will have to be paid by the manufacturer when he supplies the goods. Second supply, again he will pay the duty. Third supply, again he will pay the duty. Till that point, these goods or services आखिरी तक जब तक नहीं पहुंचते, तब तक हर स्टेज पे कंज्यूमर तक जब तक नहीं पहुंचते, हर स्टेज के ऊपर में इसके ऊपर में जीएसटी लगेगा. तो एक्साइज ड्यूटी भी उसके अंदर में मर्ज हो रही है. तो एक्साइज ड्यूटी आपकी हर स्टेज पे लगेगी. कंसेप्ट चेंज हो गई आपकी. ये कंसेप्ट आपको बहुत ख्याल में रखनी है वाली बात. प्रोपोर्शनेट वैल्यू एडिशन. हाउ प्रोपोर्शनेट वैल्यू एडिशन? मैंने 100 रुपए में माल सचिन को दिया, सचिन ने आगे सुराना जी को 125 में दिया, तो सचिन को कितना टैक्स भरना है? मैंने 100 रुपए में जब बेचा तो मैंने उसके ऊपर जीएसटी 100 रुपए पे दिया, सचिन उसको 125 में बेचता है, फिर से वो 125 पे टैक्स भरेगा, तो गवर्नमेंट को टैक्स कितने पे आया? 250 पे. बट दैट इज नॉट एन इंटेंशन. Intention is he added 25 rupees in the cost. So government should get only a tax at a final value that is 125. So what has been provided? You work out your tax at 125. You get a credit of taxes whatever you have paid to me of 100 rupees. So naturally government will get tax of 100 rupees from me first. Second on 25 rupees from him, so government will get a tax on 125. That is a final state consumption tax. That is what is final state consumption. Now हमारे यहाँ पे 2 टैक्स लगने वाले हैं. जीएसटी बोल रहे हैं, पर जीएसटी के डिफरेंट कंपोनेंट है. जीएसटी का पहला कंपोनेंट है सीजीएसटी और दूसरा कंपोनेंट है एसजीएसटी. CGST is Central Goods and Services Tax, which is called as a CGST, and SGST is State Goods and Services Tax. जो हमारे यहाँ पे आज की तारीख में वैट और सेंट्रल एक्साइज और सर्विस टैक्स लगता है. सेंट्रल एक्साइज और वैट जो लगता है, अपने सेंट्रल एक्साइज और सर्विस टैक्स जो लगता है वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है, और वैट जो लगता है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का है. तो ये दोनों को बेसिकली अगर रिप्लेस करना है तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को भी रेवेन्यू चाहिए और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को भी रेवेन्यू चाहिए. अगर इनको रेवेन्यू चाहिए तो सीजीएसटी पार्ट जो है, जो आपका कंपोनेंट रहेगा, उसका जो सीजीएसटी कंपोनेंट रहेगा, दैट विल गो टू द कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया, दैट इज यूनियन गवर्नमेंट. और जो एसजीएसटी पोर्शन रहेगा, दैट विल गो टू द कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ स्टेट. कंसोलिडेटेड फंड का मतलब ये हुआ कि जितना भी फंड, जितनी भी इनकम होती है वो स्टेट की या वो यूनियन की, वो एक जगह जमा होती है, उसको बोलते हैं कंसोलिडेटेड फंड. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज वाई जीएसटी. हमने देखे कितने सारे टैक्सेस हैं, और कुछ यहाँ आगे तो ऐसी पोजीशन बनती है कि एक इंडस्ट्री को कम से कम 20 टाइप के टैक्स कंप्लायंसेस करने पड़ते हैं. 20 टाइप के टैक्स कंप्लायंस करने हैं. तो 20 टाइप के टैक्स कंप्लायंस करने हैं तो उसका टाइम, आधा टाइम वो धंधा करेगा या अपना टैक्स कंप्लायंस करते बैठेगा. फॉर दैट पर्पज दे से दैट मल्टीपल टैक्स लीड्स टू अ डबल टैक्सेशन. राइट, आज हम 100 रुपए का माल बेचते हैं, 12 रुपये 36 पैसे एक्साइज देते हैं, 112 रुपये 36 पैसे हो गई. सेल्स टैक्स 100 रुपये पे नहीं लगता है, 112 रुपये 36 पैसे पे लगता है वैट जो लगता है. तो टैक्स के ऊपर भी टैक्स लगा, तो मल्टीपल टैक्सेशन हो गया उसके अंदर में, और कास्केडिंग इफेक्ट उसका होता है. एक्साइज आगे आपको क्रेडिट नहीं मिलती, वैट हर जगह पूरा क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता, कहीं 2% डिटेंशन है, कहीं 3% डिटेंशन है, कहीं 4% डिटेंशन है, कहीं नॉन टैक्सेबल गुड्स है, ये सब है, ये सब रिटर्न नहीं मिलता है. तो दैट एड्स टू योर कॉस्ट, एंड सिंस इट एड्स टू योर कॉस्ट इट इंक्रीजेस योर प्राइजेस. पांडे जी ने बताया कि प्राइजेस कम होगी, देखेंगे कम होगी या नहीं होगी, वो तो आप हर इंडस्ट्री का अलग अलग डिपेंड रहेगा. टैक्स सिस्टम हमारी ग्लोबल प्रैक्टिसेस से सिंक्रोनाइज नहीं होती. ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड 2 ही टैक्सेस हैं. टैक्सेस ऑन इनकम, दैट इज डायरेक्ट टैक्स, एंड टैक्सेस ऑन इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. हमारे यहाँ दुनिया भर की टैक्सेस. तो इसको अगर सिंक्रोनाइज करना है, हमारे यहाँ मतलब ये तो एक्चुअली कल्चर है, साउथ एशिया का है. साउथ एशिया में सभी जगह ऐसी वाली सिस्टम है पूरी. तो वो कल्चर को ओवरकम करने के लिए भी एक जीएसटी चाहिए। हाई कॉस्ट ऑफ टैक्स कंप्लायंस, जो बोला कि 20-20 लोगों का अगर कंप्लायंस करना है तो उसकी कॉस्ट तो आती है, 1 आदमी, 2 आदमी, 3 आदमी, 5 आदमी लगते हैं। एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट अलग होता है, वैट डिपार्टमेंट अलग होता है इंडस्ट्री के अंदर में, और फिर बाकी की जो डिपार्टमेंट है वो अलग से होते हैं। लग्जरी टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट अलग है और एंटी टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट अलग है, वो सब अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट, तो उसकी सबकी कॉस्ट अलग अलग होती है, यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं है। हाई कॉस्ट ऑफ टैक्स कलेक्टेड लीड्स टू लोअर टैक्स एज। हर डिपार्टमेंट का अपना अपना अलग से कलेक्शन मैकेनिज्म है। एक डिपार्टमेंट एक्साइज भी कलेक्ट करता है, दूसरा डिपार्टमेंट सेल टैक्स कलेक्ट करता है, वो तीसरा आदमी इसके लिए है। अब एक ही अगर एसोसी होगा, वो जीएसटी कलेक्ट करेगा, स्टेट का भी कलेक्ट करेगा, सेंट्रल का भी कलेक्ट करेगा, तो आपकी कॉस्ट ऑफ कलेक्शन जो है गवर्नमेंट की वो रिड्यूस होगा। प्रोसीजर सिंप्लीफिकेशन फॉर रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड फाइलिंग ऑफ द रिटर्न्स, एक क्लेम है गवर्नमेंट का, रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसीजर सिंप्लीफाइड हो गई। रिटर्न्स की प्रोविजन हम जब देखेंगे तो हमको ये पता लगेगा कि शायद सिंप्लीफाइड नहीं हुई है। मेजॉरिटी केस में सिंप्लीफाइड हुई है, पर छोटी केसेस में सिंप्लीफाइड नहीं हुई। पर्टिकुलरली ट्रेडर्स के केस में अगर 36 रिटर्न भरने हैं आपको, 37 रिटर्न, ट्रेडर्स के केस में अगर 37 रिटर्न भरने हैं तो इट इज़ अ डिफिकल्ट टास्क। इंडस्ट्री तो आज भी भर रही है, 12 एक्साइज के अलग से भरती है, 12 सेल टैक्स के अलग से भरती है, 12 सर्विस टैक्स के भरती है, 36 रिटर्न तो भरती है। तो इंडस्ट्री के अंदर में इतनी कोई इशू नहीं है, पर ट्रेड के अंदर में दैट इज एन इशू। रिड्यूस रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग, RT12 रखो, RG23, ABCD रखो, सेल टैक्स का सेट ऑफ रजिस्टर रखो, ये सारे रजिस्टर को मर्ज करके एक ही टाइप के रजिस्टर रखने का इसके अंदर में प्रावधान किया है। इसके लिए जीएसटी लाना है। इम्प्रूव टैक्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, स्टेट डिपार्टमेंट में एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट में जाएगा तो टैक्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन भी होगा, पर कॉस्ट ऑफ टैक्स कैसी होगी ये भी देखना होगा इन टाइम टू। सिंगल रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड आइडेंटिफिकेशन फॉर असेसी both under central and state GST, improved compliance by taxpayer, reduction in unethical practices. Claim है improved legal redress system, ये होगी कुछ हद तक। आज एक ही ट्रांजैक्शन को सेल टैक्स में अलग अपील, एक्साइज में अलग अपील, सर्विस टैक्स में अलग अपील, issue है whether it is a sale or service or whether it is a manufacture, all those issue रहते हैं। हर जगह एक एक अपील होती है, हर अपील को सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक ले जाने की अलग अलग कॉस्ट होती है। अब एक ही अपील जाएगी तो सब ठीक हो जाएगा, उसका पॉसिबली ये अचीव हो जाएगा। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फाइलिंग ऑफ स्टैट्यूटरी फॉर्म्स एंड पेमेंट, फॉर्म तो रहेगा ही नहीं, C फॉर्म, F फॉर्म सब खत्म, उसके जगह ईवेल बिल आ गया भाई। ई-वे बिल आएगा, हम देखेंगे ई-वे बिल बाद में, और ई-वे बिल कैसे आएगा ये भी आपको देखना है। जीएसटी कहते हैं हमारा ड्यूअल जीएसटी है। अगेन कंसेप्ट ये है कि व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज ए ड्यूअल जीएसटी, बिकॉज it is levied at a two stage, central GST as well as state GST, CGST as SGST, दोनों जगह टैक्स लगेगा। दोनों के कंप्लायंसेस आपको भले ही एक ही रिटर्न के पार्ट में होंगे, पर दोनों जगह उस हिसाब से आपका जाएगा, इसलिए उसको ड्यूअल जीएसटी कहते हैं। ड्यूअल जीएसटी की कंसेप्ट वर्ल्ड में सिर्फ 2 ही जगह है, एक तो कनाडा में है जहाँ 3 स्टेज जीएसटी, 2 स्टेज नहीं 3 स्टेज जीएसटी, यहाँ पे सेंट्रल जीएसटी लगता है, प्रोविजनल जीएसटी लगता है और सिटी जीएसटी लगता है। पर इंडिया में हमारे अभी 2 ही जीएसटी है, क्योंकि म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन की पावर हमने उठा के स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को दे दिया। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट तुमको ग्रांट देगी, अब तुम टैक्स मत कलेक्ट करो, एलबीटी वगैरह सब हम लोग खत्म कर देंगे। हमने देखे कस्टम ड्यूटी लगती है प्री जीएसटी में आज की तारीख में, जो लगती है कि बाहर देश से कोई माल अगर आप हिंदुस्तान में बुला रहे हैं तो उसके ऊपर कस्टम ड्यूटी लगती है। कस्टम ड्यूटी के बहुत दुनिया भर के प्रकार है, बेसिक कस्टम ड्यूटी, सीवीडी है, एसवीडी है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। सेंट्रल एक्साइज ड्यूटी लगती है, सर्विस टैक्स लगता है, वैट लगता है, सीएसटी लगता है। बाय एंड लार्ज ये सारे टैक्स जो है except basic custom duty, all taxes will get subsum in GST. Basic custom duty वैसी की वैसी रहेगी। तो कोई भी ये दिमाग में मत रखिए कि जीएसटी लगने के बाद में इंपोर्ट किया तो हमारे को कोई टैक्स नहीं, कस्टम ड्यूटी नहीं लगेगी। बेसिक कस्टम ड्यूटी बिल्कुल लगेगी। एक्साइज नहीं लगेगा, सर्विस टैक्स नहीं लगेगा, काउंटरवेलिंग ड्यूटी नहीं लगेगी, एसईटी नहीं लगेगी, सीवीडी नहीं लगेगी, सर्विस टैक्स नहीं लगेगा, वैट नहीं लगेगा, सीएसटी नहीं लगेगा। करीब 17 लॉज, टैक्सेशन लॉज सबसम होगा। सीजीएसटी में क्या क्या सबसम होगा? सर्विस टैक्स, सेंट्रल एक्साइज ड्यूटी, एडिशनल एक्साइज ड्यूटी, फिर वो मेडिसिनल प्रोडक्ट की रहो, इसकी रहो, वो सब होगी। सरचार्ज एंड गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, एडिशनल ड्यूटी ऑफ कस्टम्स एंड स्पेशल एडिशनल ड्यूटी ऑफ कस्टम, ये सबका मिला के एक सीजीएसटी बनेगा। ये ड्यूटियाँ आपको इंपोर्ट के ऊपर में या सेंट्रल एक्साइज में या सर्विस टैक्स में नहीं लगेगी। एसजीएसटी पोर्शन क्या रहेगा? स्टेट सेसेस एंड सरचार्ज ऑन गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, ये सब निकल जाएंगे। टैक्सेस ऑन लॉटरी गैम्बलिंग अलग अलग से लगता है, ये नहीं लगेगी। टैक्सेस ऑन बेटिंग, ये भी नहीं लगेगा। एंट्री टैक्स ऑब्लिक ऑक्ट्राय, ये भी नहीं लगेगा। एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स, सिनेमा देखने जाते हैं एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स देते हैं, नियरली 50% ऑफ योर टिकट इज एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स, ये भी नहीं लगेगा। परचेज टैक्स बोलते हैं सबसम होगा, पर कुछ जगह अभी देखेंगे इनडायरेक्टली परचेज टैक्स आ रहा है सीजीएसटी में, पर बोलते हैं कि परचेज टैक्स भी सबसम होगा। लग्जरी टैक्स, होटल के अंदर में आप जाते हैं, लग्जरी टैक्स वगैरह देते हैं, वो नहीं लगेगा अलग से। सेंट्रल सेल्स टैक्स नहीं लगेगा और वैट नहीं लगेगा। इसका सबका मिला के कंपोनेंट, सब कंपोनेंट्स का मिलके जो बनेगा उसको कहेंगे एसजीएसटी। ये टैक्सेस टू बी सबसम का ये स्लाइड हो गई आपकी। Yes, any question? Any question there? No. एक आईजीएसटी लॉ बनेगा, सीजीएसटी बना दिया, एसजीएसटी बना दिया, एक आईजीएसटी और बनेगा। Don't worry, we'll provide you the email of the entire slides. No issue on that. That you need not take a photograph and all this thing. We'll provide you. I think we had already asked you to put your email IDs and all. So this entire slides will be provided. एक आईजीएसटी लगेगा। तो कंसेप्ट में अभी कौन से टैक्स आ गए? सीजीएसटी, आईजीएसटी और एसजीएसटी। आईजीएसटी क्या है? सीजीएसटी हमने समझ लिया, एसजीएसटी थोड़ा सा समझ लिया। आईजीएसटी क्या है? महाराष्ट्र से माल मध्य प्रदेश में गया तो जिसको इंटरस्टेट सेल बोलते हैं और आज सेंट्रल सेल्स टैक्स लगाते हैं, वो सेंट्रल सेल्स टैक्स के बजाय इंटीग्रेटेड गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज टैक्स लगेगा। अब ये इंटीग्रेटेड गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज टैक्स क्या होगा? तो टोटल ऑफ एसजीएसटी एंड जीएसटी। तो देयर कुड बी टू टाइप्स ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस। one transaction within the state, another transaction outside the state. Outside the state का जो transaction करेंगे जिसको intra state बोलेंगे, जो within the state हुआ,